Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel'S Mat Chat, and this is episode 245 of your awesome favorite show, Mel'S Mat Chat. I'm hoping everybody's had a good week, and we're gonna have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Money in the Bank, which I will be uploading a video at 2 p.m. on Saturday for the preview and prediction. So I told you I was covering it, no problem. And I'm hoping that I can get it. It's going to be over by 11 o'clock, because if it's over by 11 o'clock, my ass is doing the review. We're going live, and we're just going to knock it out of the park. Now, I gotta have something cold to drink. Come on, people. Come on, you know me, people. Everything on my channel, the review, the 244, everything is on my channel. Also, the review of Double or Nothing, In Your House, and Hell in a Cell. So go check that out and much more, okay? Now, let's get to the people who I support on here. Please go check out harrys.com and get all your shaving and toiletry essentials right on that website. Please, also, can you go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. I certainly don't have a beard. I have a fucking pimple, but that's besides the point. But please go check them out. If you have a beard and you need the products to keep the beard in check, go check Maestro Classics out and get all your beard essentials. By the way, I drink Death Wish coffee, so I have an announcement for subscribers. If you're a subscriber to Death Wish Coffee, you will have first access to their new brew. What is it, you say, Melissa? It is espresso. Oh, I can't wait. Because I don't have a subscription to the coffee, because I rotate. If you can't tell, I rotate. I got Folgers in the back there. I got that donut shop coffee, and I have my Death Wish. So I rotate. And when I heard that, the Italian in me went bum bum bum. Oh my God, I cannot wait to taste this. I'm just ordered a frother. It was like $10. It's rechargeable. So do you think I'm going to be making my own fucking lattes, people? It's going to happen. And it's going to happen bigly, okay? So if you want to get your hands on it, if you're a subscriber, you get first crack at it. Friday, it's open to the rest of us. So go to deathwishcoffee.com and get your fix of Death Wish coffee. Now, when I normally do this, I usually have a liquid death. And tonight I have to have a liquid death due to the fact that I got to go to bed. Because this is actually Wednesday night. So I'm pre-recording this, and I have to because I have a doctor's appointment on Monday, and I don't know if I'm going to get back in time. So now I can relax and enjoy Friday, and you can watch it at your leisure. You don't have to. But please, when you're there, please go smash that like button, turn on all the notifications, and subscribe, okay? Also, there's the review of the Forbidden Door. That's on my channel. Go check that out. Also, please go check out ringsidenews.com. So, no, not ringsidenews.com. What am I doing? HOGwrestling.net. Go check them out. They have High Intensity 8 coming at the 28th of August, if I'm not mistaken. Go check it out. You can get all the details at HOGwrestling.net. Also, please go check out Outbreak Wrestling at all the main social media, which is YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay, let's get episode 245 on the road, because I want to go finish up because it's actually Wednesday night. It is exactly 10:18 that I'm doing this. I want to go to bed. All right. Last week's SmackDown. We have tonight. SmackDown comes with only one thing announced ahead of time: a rematch between Ricochet and Gunther for the Intercontinental Champion. 2 weeks ago, Gunther won the title from Ricochet, and tonight marks his first title defense. Who do you think will walk out with the title? As far as the rest of the show, we have no idea what time as of the as of the time that I wrote this to the Blue Brand last week Roman Reigns, Riddle faced Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, but likely Lesnar will be on tonight's show. We can, however, expect the likes of Sami Zayn, the Usos, Ronda Rousey, and more. This week's show opened up with a look back at last week's main event, where Roman Reigns defeated Riddle to retain the undisputed Universal Championship, only to be confronted by Brock Lesnar after the match. We go live to the arena, and out comes Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior says that when he came to SmackDown, he says he would fight from the bottom and earn a title opportunity. Yet, no matter how many wins he occurs, the tribal chief continues to duck him. Brock Lesnar showed up last week, and he's already got a title shot. Good for Brock, but he hopes Lesnar and Roman destroy each other, and he could pick up the bones. The Brawling Brute came out with Sheamus and says McIntyre is off his rocker if he thinks he's going to win the Money in the Bank. He's only in the match because Adam Pearce felt bad for him. He doesn't belong. Sheamus says McIntyre only experience with the briefcase is being cashed in on and losing his title. Meanwhile, he himself has won the Money in the Bank and cashed in on Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce come out to the stage. Heyman introduces himself and says Roman will defend the undisputed title at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match that will not be won by Brock Lesnar. Heyman says they have a problem because even though Roman is the GOAT after the last man standing match against Brock Lesnar, Roman will be vulnerable to a cash in. Even Lesnar would be vulnerable. Not that Lesnar has a chance of winning. Heyman echoes Sheamus saying a cash in on Roman happened before, but he is here to make sure it doesn't happen again. Heyman says Pearce has a very special announcement to make, and Pearce says that he has hastily put Sheamus and McIntyre in the Money in the Bank ladder match. After all, neither of them won, and WWE has overruled his decision. As such, neither of them will be part of the match. However, the both of them can qualify if they can team up tonight and defeat the Usos. So when I heard that, it was basically, okay, they're not going to allow these two to not be on Money in the Bank. That was clear from the get-go. So the match that they had with the Usos was a waste of fucking time, basically. Because we all know it was good. They were going to win. They weren't going to allow those two to go on the pay-per-view. It could have made it a little bit more interesting, you know? We go to a commercial break. Sami Zayn is interviewed backstage, and he says he's going to win his match tonight and qualify for the Money in the Bank. Then win the match. Kayla Braxton asks if he's going to cash in on Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, and he says no. As an honorary member of the Bloodline, he will let Roman pin him. I guess too many hits to the head with a chair, Mr. Zane. Jesus Christmas. Sorry, family shit's going on right now. So we have the qualifying Money in the Bank ladder match. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And I'm telling you, from Dallas, you can have these two go at it all day, all night. Take my money, take my fucking firstborn. I legitimately, just so that I can say Shinsuke Nakamura's name properly, I watch that match. Sometimes I go back and watch that match because it reminds me of a takeover that we all duly miss. So, this match was unnecessary, but we got it on TV. You, so we start off, the match gets underway, and Nakamura takes the fight to Sami Zayn. He backs him into a corner and clubs him in the back of the head. Nakamura hangs Zayn in the corner in the ropes and hits a sliding German suplex. Zayn goes outside and Shinsuke goes after him, but Sammy throws him into the barricade with an exploder suplex. Zayn gets back in the ring and wants a countout win. Nakamura makes it but Nakamura just makes it back into the ring at the count of 9. Zayn is angered and hammers Nakamura with forearms. Sammy whips him into the corner, but Nakamura kicks him away. Shinsuke goes to the top rope and wants a flying knee, but Zayn rushes over and knocks him off where he tumbles to the floor as we head to break. Zayn is stopping Nakamura as we return. He goes to the middle rope and jumps off, but Nakamura kicks him in the head for a 2 count. Nakamura hits the ropes, but Sammy catches him with a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Zayn goes to the top rope again, but Nakamura crouches him and Zayn falls off. Shinsuke wants the Kinshasa, but Sammy rolls him up and puts his feet on the ropes. The referee caught the cheat and Sammy argues with him. Nakamura hits a flying knee to the back of the head and covers, but he kicks out. Sammy swings, but Shinsuke ducks it and connects with a kick to the head. Zayn rolls outside, but Nakamura goes out and hits him with a Kinshasa. Nakamura rolls Sammy back inside and gets in himself, but Zayn connects with a Huluva kick for the win. Sami Zayn is the winner, and he is going to be at Money in the Bank. Um, we go to a commercial break. The New Day are in the ring, and out comes Jinder Mahal and Shanky. Before the match begins, Woods and Kofi get on the microphone and say nobody wants to see them wrestle every week. The fans want to see a dancing Shanky. Woods plays the trombone and Shanky dances. Mahal pulls him, and yells at him until Shaky shoves him. Ginger leaves, and Shaky gets back to dancing with the New Day. The Viking Raider music hits, and they come out from behind and attack them. And I don't know if you heard this, but Kofi said, we never want to wrestle the same team week after week after week. Are you thinking that we're stupid? He is clearly a troll. Sonya Deville walks into Adam Pierce's office. She says Pierce makes excuses after excuse for his terrible decision making. What's his excuse now? His excuse for now for how he treats the women's division. She says he's in over his head and has no idea what to do. She fires back for weeks and she's been back for weeks and can't get a match. Lacey Evans is gone for a year and gets a qualifying match. Raquel Rodriguez walks in from a ranch in Texas somewhere and she gets a match against Ronda Rousey. Pierce says she can have a match tonight against Evans and Rodriguez. So we have a 2-on-1 handicap match. Lacey Evans and Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville with Shayna Baszler and Xia Li in her corner. The match begins. Evan tackles Sonya and pummels her with punches. Deville fights up and knocks Raquel off the apron. Then Lacey takes down and covers for a 2 count. Evans wants to make a tag, but Sonya blocks it. Then Evans takes her down with a kick. Evans makes a tag, and Rodriguez comes in with European uppercuts. Rodriguez with a scoop slam, and then Evans tags back in and lands a right hand. Winner Lacey Evans and Raquel Rodriguez. Baszler and Xia Li rush in after the bell and attack Evans and Rodriguez. Deville joins them and they leave them lying. I really thought that after we got back from the commercial that we were going to have a 6-woman tag. Somehow Ronda Rousey was going to join them. The Street Profits are walking around backstage and stop Madcap Moss. Dawkins makes a joke that neither Moss nor Ford find funny. Coming back from a commercial break, Natalya comes out dressed like Ronda Rousey and with a stroller. Natalya pretends to be Rousey, mocking her and her mother. Ronda comes out and says she barely recognizes her considering her rack isn't hanging out. Rousey says they bear no resemblance because Natalya mutilated her body, chasing impossible body standards. Rousey says Natalya has all the talent but zero charisma. And the closest she'll ever get to being a star is dressing like her. Rousey grabs Natalya and rips the jacket off, but Natalya throws the stroller at her and bails from the ring. McIntyre and the Brawling Brutes are backstage for an interview. Sheamus says he's worried about his match tonight because he's got a big, hairy hagging dragging him down. Drew says the Brutes can take the night off and he'll win the match by himself. Sheamus tells him to bring his A game and he'll meet him out there. Take a sip of this. My throat is dry as bones. The Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Ricochet. Match gets underway. Ricochet rushes Gunther in the corner with a dropkick. Gunther eats a few shots but hits a body slam. Then a big boot. Gunther stomps Ricochet and stands on his head. Gunther stays in control for a minute, but Ricochet starts fighting back with some fast offense and some knees. Gunther cuts him off with a clothesline and backs him in the corner with chops to the chest. Gunther hits a German suplex, then a shotgun dropkick. Gunther with a power bomb for the win. Gunther retains his Intercontinental Championship. Kayla Braxton interviews Paul Heyman backstage. Heyman goes to speak, but Sami Zayn appears and tells him he doesn't have to answer any of her questions. Zayn says she tried to interfere that in fear that he would cash in the money in the bank on Roman Reigns. But he's an honorary Uce, and he would never do that. He cashed in on Brock in a heartbeat, but not Roman. Heyman gets offended and stares Sammy until he walks off. We come back from a commercial break. Money in the Bank qualifying match. Shotzi versus Tamina. It was supposed to be Aaliyah, but either she's injured or she's not up to par, and she shouldn't even. See, this is the problem with the people from the PC. This is why they needed to get back with NXT on the road, because they need more reps. How are you going to send half of these people to Monday or Friday if they don't get used to the rigors of touring? The match gets underway and Tamina blasts Shotzi with a headbutt. Tamina lands a body slam for a 2 count, then backs Shotzi into the corner and puts her on the top rope. Shotzi wraps her legs around Tamina's head and hangs down over the ropes, choking her. Shotzi gets back inside and lands some kicks and an enziguri. Shotzi hits a hip attack to Tamina against the ropes, then goes on up top and jumps off, but Tamina super kicks her and pins, but Shotzi gets a foot on the bottom rope. Tamina argues with the referee until Shotzi shoves her shoulders first into the ring post. Shotzi hits a DDT called the Never Wake Up and gets a 3 count and qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. So what I think was, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Hayes called to me to get her a flight to SmackDown because Aaliyah couldn't go. So Aaliyah should be future endeavored. We come back from commercial break. Max Dupree is scheduled to unveil his models, but once again he's backstage yelling at Adam Pearce. He says Pearce is so incompetent that he's wondering if he's doing it on purpose. He didn't provide the dressing room occurrence, a very specific temperature of and water from a specific mountain. He says he can't good conscience send his models out there tonight. Next week they will fulfill the mission and titillate and the juices of our guilty pleasures. Oh my God. Pat McAfee gets on the announce desk and calls out Happy Corbin. After Corbin berated him last week, Pat says he loves being in the WWE. It makes him feel alive. When he gets to sit at the table and talk for the millions and millions of fans, he feels alive. He challenges Corbin to a match at SummerSlam and says he will knock his teeth out and gets a bum-ass Corbin chant going. Money in the Bank qualifying match. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos. If McIntyre and Sheamus win, they will be holding their spot to go into the match. The Street Profits come out to watch this match from commentary. Butch gets in the ring, but Sheamus puts him out. Drew starts with Jimmy, who jumps him and beats him down in the corner. Jimmy backs Drew into the corner, but The Scotsman fights back and tags Sheamus. The Celtic water, Celtic water, the Celtic warrior throws Jimmy to the apron and hits the 10 beats of Badaran. Sheamus gets Jimmy back inside and knocks McIntyre. Claymore countdown as he looks for a brogue kick. McIntyre gets in a fight with Butch at ringside and throws him into the steel steps. Sheamus comes out and shoves him. Then they start brawling as well. Jimmy then comes flying over the ropes and takes both men of them down as we head to break. Back live, and Jimmy Uso is stomping Sheamus down in the corner. Jimmy wants a hip attack, but Sheamus catches him with a flying knee, and both men are down. Tags to McIntyre and Jay, and Drew led some clotheslines, elbows, and belly to belly. McIntyre wants a neck breaker, but Jay sends him into the ring post and connects with a super kick. Jimmy tags in and super kicks Sheamus off the apron. Both Usos hit a super kick to McIntyre. Then Jimmy goes up top and hits an Uso splash to McIntyre, but Sheamus breaks the pin attempt. Jay sends Sheamus back out, but McIntyre hits him with a neck breaker. Then one to Jimmy as well. Drew hit once a claymore, but Jimmy rolls out of the ring. McIntyre goes out, but Jimmy shoves him into the barricade. Sami Zayn over the barricade and runs at McIntyre, but Angela Dawkins wipes him out with a shoulder tackle. The Prophets and Usos get in each other's faces again at ringside until McIntyre comes flying over the top rope and wipes them all out. Sheamus drops Jay with a bro kick, and McIntyre gets Jimmy back inside. McIntyre gets caught with a super kick and stumbles back to the ropes, then ducks Jimmy and hits a claymore for the win. So Sheamus and McIntyre have basically solidified their spots in the Money in the Bank. Sheamus and McIntyre posed together at the end of the show. They both qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Right to Monday Night Raw, or should I say Monday Night Rehash. Monday Night Raw. Tonight, Raw features the return of the one and only John Cena. The 16-time world champion returns to Raw to celebrate his 20th WWE anniversary, and we'll be hoping he'll stick around for a few weeks at least. Theory has been taunting and teasing Cena for weeks, while Cena himself identified Theory as the one to watch. Theory is already booked for Money in the Bank, but maybe we'll see a showdown at SummerSlam. This week, show opens up with a look at John Cena arriving at the arena today. He got a hero's welcome with WWE superstars and officials are applauding and hugging him. We go live to the arena where a bunch of superstars are already in the ring for a battle royal to determine the final spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Money in the Bank qualifying last chance battle royal. It really isn't last chance because there is going to be another match. Because there's another person that should be counted in that. The bell rings and everyone begins brawling. Veer goes after Nakamura in the corner and kicks him. Meanwhile, Dolph Ziggler is sent over the ropes but hangs onto the bottom rope. Riddle attacks Veer, but Mahan turns him around and stomps him. Mahal and Ciampa have Nakamura on the apron, but can't get rid of him. Veer throws Akira Tozawa over and he looks confused, and then clotheslines Benjamin out of the ring also. Mustafa Ali jumps on Veer's back but quickly throws him off. Veer grabs both Mysterios by the throat, but Ali attacks him. Ali holds Veer down, and the Mysterios hit him with Stereo 619s before eliminated Veer. R-Truth wants Shanky to dance with him in the center of the ring. I want to apologize. A little brief break. Sorry. This is going to be a 5 bell thing, so I'm sorry. I'm not going to continue reading my notes until this is over. So, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was another shadow figure in the what is it called, the graphic, and there was another guy there. It was supposed to be Ezekiel or Elias or someone or the other was supposed to face Owens, but somehow Owens was hurt for some reason. I have no idea. Sorry for the little bit of a break, but there's a fire alarm that going off. So I'm not going to continue reading this until it's done. This is what out of all the times I do something like this, it's funny, it's hilarious. In my opinion, this thing should be eliminated. You have cell phones, you have scanners, you have beepers. Use the beeper. Have the alarms going off in the people's houses that who volunteered to fight fires. I guess we can continue. So Veer throws Akira Tozawa over and he looks confused and then clotheslines Benjamin out of the ring. Also, Mustafa Ali jumps on Veer's back, but he quickly throws him off. Veer grabs both Mysterios by the throat, but Ali attacks him. Ali holds Veer down, and the Mysterios hit him with Stereo 619s before eliminated Veer. R-Truth wants Shaky to dance with him in the center of the ring. Shaky starts dancing until Mahal attacks R-Truth. Then Mahal and Shaky eliminated R-Truth together. Ginger then turns on Shaky and dumps him over the ropes, and he's out. Shaky is shocked, but AJ Styles then clothesline Mahal out of the ring to eliminate him. T-Bar presses Reggie over his head and throws him out of the ring onto Mahal and Shaky. We come back from commercial. We have Riddle is almost eliminated but holds on for dear life. Ciampa hits Riddle with a jawbreaker. Then Ziggler and Dominic Mysterio go blow for blow. Ciampa throws Styles over the ropes, but he holds on. Then drags Ciampa over the ropes and runs him into the ring post and tumbles to the floor. Ray and Miz go at it for a minute. Then Dolph grabs Ray and tries to powerbomb him over the ropes, but he holds on. Miz tries to capitalize, but Ray flings him over the ropes, and all three of them are on the apron. Dolph and Miz team up to throw Ray off the apron, and he hits the barricade and is eliminated. Ricochet and T-Bar are fighting, and T-Bar is sent over the ropes where he lands on the apron. He drags Ricochet over the ropes and throws him, but Ricochet lands on a nearby ladder. Ricochet then jumps off the ladder and is catched by T-Bar with a Hurricanrana and eliminates him. We're down to only a handful of stars. We're back from commercial, and Riddle eats a boot from The Miz in the corner. Then Miz lands a double axe handle and feigns a knee injury. Ziggler goes to the top rope, but Nakamura hits an enziguri and knocks him off. Riddle and Nakamura go toe to toe as Miz is tended to on the floor by officials. Riddle sends Nakamura to the apron and hits a Pele kick to eliminate him. Ricochet lifts Riddle but gets countered, then goes to the middle rope and looks for a springboard crossbody, but Riddle ducks and AJ Styles drop kicks him in midair. Styles throws Ricochet over and out. Then he and Riddle throw hands, and the crowd goes crazy. Riddle throws AJ over to the apron. Styles knocks Riddle back and wants a phenomenal forearm, but Miz reappears and yanks him down. Miz and Riddle are the last two left. Miz gets in the ring and looks for a skull-crushing finale, but Riddle shrugs him off. Riddle connects with a draping DDT and wants an RKO. The Miz counters Riddle and hits a skull-crushing finale. Miz sends him over the ropes, but Riddle drags Miz over by his legs, both men on the apron. Miz runs at him, but Riddle counters with an RKO for the win. Riddle is going to Money in the Bank. Is he going to win? Nope. Not whatsoever. Riddle has joined Amos, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Seth Rollins for the men's Money in the Bank match this Sunday. The Street Profits are backstage. Montez Ford says they have Mr. John Cena with them, and he appears. They ask Cena for advice on how to face the Bloodline. Cena shrugs and rhymes off their accomplishments. They saying they're the Street Profits and they need to never forget how good they are. Cena says, never give up because you want the smoke. We get a video of some WWE legends talking about John Cena and his legacy. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Trish Stratus, Booker T, and most surprisingly, Bryan Danielson. That shocked me. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on here? Yo, Don't do this to me. I can't. You need to give me some warning here. Warning here. I can't. My fucking brain is legitimately on this close to being completely mush. I am going through also menopause, which doesn't help the situation, and you can't do this to me because my blood pressure goes through the fucking roof. I don't know what's going on. I need to know, and I'm not kidding. Riddle is interviewed backstage, and he says he loves Randy Orton and that he was for him. He he's been having a run of bad luck, losing matches, and his back has been against the wall. But his bro John Cena told him to never give up, and that's what he did. Now the bro is going to Vegas, so he's actually I think was living there for a lengthy period of time, and then he had to move to Orlando because he was in NXT. But he knows Vegas very quick, very very well. So we have Montez Ford with Angelo Dawkins versus Jay Uso with Jimmy Uso. They lock you and they lock up, and Jay forces Ford back to the corner. Ford shoulders tackles Jay and mocks the Usos, "We the ones." Jay fires back with a shoulder of his own, then punches Montez in the corner. Ford leaps over Jay in the corner and hits an arm drag into a shoulder tackle. Ford fights up and drop kicks Jay out of the ring. Montez goes to the apron, but Jay trips him, then runs him into the steel steps. We go to commercial break. We return, and Jay is in control of Ford and taunting him. But Ford fires back, lands a dropkick and a standing moonsault for a near fall. Jay shoves Ford into the turnbuckles, then hits a pop up net breaker for a near fall of his own. Jay wants a hip attack in the corner, but Montez super kicks it, then hits a standing blockbuster and covers, but Jay kicks out. Ford Ford to the top rope, but Jimmy causes a distraction from the apron, only to be steamrolled by Angela Dawkins. Jay then jumps on Dawkins, but Ford hits him with a suicide dive. Ford gets Jay back in the ring and hits a frog splash where his head nearly touches the money in the bag briefcase and scores a pinfall. Winner Montez Ford. Ray and Dominic Mysterio are backstage when Finn Balor and Damian Priest get in their way. Balor says everyone is talking about John Cena when Ray's 20th anniversary is coming up too. They had Ray had achieved everything and everybody loves him. So what is it he isn't teaching Dominic? Priest says their door is open for people who keep hearing the same advice over and over, but don't get anywhere. Balor says they're not saying Dominic has bad luck. They're saying he has a bad father. Ray gets angry but Dominic holds him back. Back from commercial, we get a long video package chronicling the career of John Cena from confronting Kurt Angle to his current success in Hollywood. Kevin Patrick is in the ring and he introduces The Miz for an interview. Patrick shows us of Logan Paul training for an in-ring return. Miz says he set that up because him and Logan Paul will be returning as a tag team at SummerSlam, and they will continue their winning ways. Patrick shows a replay of The Miz attacking Paul after their match at WrestleMania and asks him what their relationship is. The Miz says he's the most full-time WWE superstar there is. This weekend he'll be on the Today Show. They wanted him and they wanted him, nobody else. And he has the biggest reality TV show there is. So when everybody comes to WWE, they want to team with him. After he attacked Logan, he told him that it was simply a teaching him a lesson. Um, maybe the reason why that they're having you on the Today Show on the weekend and not during the week because John Cena's busy. I mean, and he would never do weekends. That is something for a D-lister, okay? You're really taking that cosplay right to the fullest extent. Patrick asked Miz if he disappointed about the battle royal earlier, and Miz says the only disappointment is AJ Styles. Styles interrupted the Miz, and he in the middle of talking about how large his balls are, Styles walks straight up to the Miz, drops him with a right hand. The Miz looks shocked, and it seems like we're getting a match after the break. The Miz and AJ Styles, I couldn't care less about. The match gets underway, and Styles takes Miz down and hits him with a backbreaker. Miz reverses an Irish whip and hits a kitchen sink knee, then a running kick to the face. The Miz stays in control and knees AJ against the ropes, then grabs a chin lock. Styles fights up and knocks Miz over the ropes. Styles looks for a springboard moonsault, but Miz avoids it, then runs him into the barricade. Back from commercial, we have the Miz hits Styles with a snap DDT for a 2 count. Miz delivers the it kicks to AJ's and poses. He looks for another kick, but AJ blocks it and lands a German suplex. AJ attacks Miz in the corner and hits a wheelbarrow facebuster. Styles ducks a kick from the Miz and catches him with a Ushigoroshi for the near fall. Styles is sent to the apron and wants the phenomenal forearm, but Miz ducks it. AJ goes to the top rope, but Miz drops his knee, then hits a codebreaker for a near fall. Miz takes AJ to the top rope, but Styles slips between his legs and trips him. Styles lifts Miz but he slides off and hits a few kicks to the head, followed by a running knee for a near fall. Styles rolls Miz up for a near fall, then hits a brainbuster, and both men are down. AJ rolls to the apron and wants a phenomenal forearm again, but this time Miz rolls out of the ring. The Miz retreats up the ramp and allows himself to get counted out. Meanwhile, AJ looks in disgust with the cuts on his face. Jesus Christ, he's getting cut on his face. We gotta watch that, WWE. Winner via countout, AJ Styles. John Cena is backstage with Ezekiel, and Cena says he's all zigged up to meet him. Cena asked if Elias is here tonight, and he said he is. He's with Elrod. Ezekiel said the world wants to walk with Elias and trod with Elrod and speak with Zeke. Cena tells him to never give up, and Ezekiel is inspired. Theory walks up and confronts him. He says he doesn't understand why the fans care about Cena. He's never around. Theory says he's 24 years old, the handpicked protege of Mr. McMahon, and I don't think he should be saying Mr. McMahon. I'm sorry, but he's in the middle of a fucking sex fucking thing. I would be not. He's a protege to the owner of the company. That's it. That's it. and his body is incredible. Whereas it 2022 and is a grown ass man wearing jorts. And he says he wants a selfie to commemorate this moment, but Cena walks off. We go to commercial break and we see another video of lengthening legends talking about John Cena. This one included Stephanie McMahon, JBL, Chris Jericho. Another one that I was get me a shot of vodka right now. And the Texas Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin, who drank a beer for him. The Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair comes to the ring for an interview. Patrick says what she thinks about facing Carmella on Sunday. Belair says she wishes Carmella was out there so she could say this to her face. After beating 4 of the best women on Raw last week, you think Carmella could talk to her face, but no, she attacked her when she wasn't looking. Bianca says nobody respects Carmella, and it's not because she's not good. She is. It's because Carmella doesn't respect herself. She is so focused on her looks, and she doesn't get to that next level. So Carmella best be bringing it because she craves competition and she's ready to go. In fact, why wait till Sunday? Belair asks Carmella to come out for a face-to-face, and Carmella accepts. I want to say something on Bianca Belair before I keep going. Doesn't take too long. Hey, bitch! Fucking goddamn Sasha Banks put you in that spot. Advocated for you. You don't have the fucking balls to mention her name. If you don't want to mention her fucking WWE name, you talk about Mercedes. You're a disgusting piece of shit. Alright? May the rest of your fucking career go down the toilet. Because there's a lot more fucking Sasha Banks fans than there are Bianca Belair fans. And you know what? They're more rabid than you. You are a piece of trash. And I don't fucking care about the color of your skin. I can't stand you. I never claimed to be a fucking Sasha Banks fan. But today, when I saw what I saw online, made me want to throw up. You wanted to say her name, but you knew that you'd get into trouble. Just realize, if it wasn't for fucking Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, you would be the EST of nowhere. Or the EST of Nowhereville. Alright? You wouldn't be relevant. So I want you to take your fucking husband and the wannabe fucking goddamn Dawkins and get the fuck off my TV. Your fucking boys get more fucking title shots than fucking Carter's got liver pills. Unbelievable. Moving on. So Carmella says, she comes out and says she is the whole package, and she's not going to apologize for that. Her resume speaks for itself. 2-time Money in the Bank winner, if it wasn't for, James Ellsworth. And a former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. And former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. She never held the Women's Championship on Raw. So if people don't respect her, she'll get the respect by taking the title from Bianca. Carmella looks to leave, but turns around and tries to hit Bianca, but she blocks it and knocks her out of the ring. Sarah Schreiber interviews Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss. Backstage, Bliss Bliss says her and Liv are friendly. She likes Liv, but she has no friends. Bliss says Liv will be friends one day, but it won't be this Sunday because she's going to win the briefcase, then get a little one for Lily. Morgan says she's right. There are friends because friends lift each other up, and on Sunday she's going to rip her down from the ladder. Liv says she learned a lot from John Cena, like knowing when your time is now and her time is now. Liv says she's going to beat Alexa tonight, and Bliss coincidentally says she won't. Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss. This was a blink show. What I mean about a blink show, you blinked and it was over. Asuka joins the commentary team for this one. Morgan backs Bliss into the corner and looks for a handspring, but Bliss gets her knees up. Alexa looks for a standing moonsault, but Liv rolls out of the way, only for Alexa to catch her with a clothesline. Bliss grabs a sleeper hold, but Liv quickly fights up, but Bliss takes her back down. Bliss wants a DDT, but Morgan rolls her up for the win. Liv Morgan wins. Wow. We see a video of John Cena and his record-breaking Make-A-Wish contributions over the year. Mr. McMahon makes his way out to the ring to continue the celebration. We come back, McMahon is in the ring, and the entire roster is lining the ramp on either side. Vince says there are not enough words for this man, so he's just going to introduce John Cena. Cena comes to the ring to a huge reaction from the fans. Cena says today is his WWE birthday, and he looks around, he can feel the energy and hear the noise. He couldn't think of a better place to have his birthday. The fans chant Cena. He says he never been one to celebrate milestones because he's always looking forward. But tonight is different. Tonight has nothing to do with anything he's done or any match he's had. This is all about the fans. Tonight means the fans have let him do this for 2 decades. Each time he steps in the ring, the ring is because the fans allow it. Over the years, he created an environment to tell him when he sucks and kind enough to tell him no when he doesn't. He always wanted to say thank you, and he's been waiting for the right moment. And tonight is that moment. The fans chanted, "Thank you, Cena." He says he says that his heart is beating out of his chest, and he has tons of energy and excitement. He always says that WWE has prepared him for anything, and he isn't talking about his movies. He means the fans' reaction and investment in him have made him a better professional husband. Nikki Bella. Sorry. Gotta take some more of that liquid death. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. And a person. He's learned empathy and caring, kindness, perseverance, and humility. Every time you step into the ring, you give everything you have because the fans do the same. Cena says it's been 20 years. He's 45 years old, and he doesn't know when we'll see him wrestle again. He's not saying he won't be back, and it certainly won't just be once. Anytime he does anything outside WWE, he takes the fans with him, and he wants them to be as vocal as possible because they never give up. And if you want some, come get some. Cena gives his wristband, shirt, and hat to fans as he makes his way up to the ramp. Oh my God, I would have loved to have said, then also when he says, oh, make a better husband and a better soon-to-be dad, oh my God, I would have been crying and laughing at the same time and be like, Nikki, guess you couldn't tame the beast. I know I'm a fucking sadistic bitch and I don't give a shit. We have a 2-1 handicap match. Alpha Academy versus Bobby Lashley. Special guest enforcer Austin Theory. The match starts with Lashley and Otis locking up. They shove each other apart and Lashley attempts a shoulder tackle, but Otis but he doesn't fall. Lashley hits a clothesline next to no effect. So this time he drop kicks the knee and Otis goes down. Lashley grabs Otis and wants a suplex, but Theory jumps on the apron to distract him. Lashley shoves Otis away and makes a leap for Theory, but he jumps back off the apron. Lashley gets out of the ring and goes after Theory, but Gable comes flying off the apron and takes him down with a cannonball. Otis then runs around the ring and hits a big splash on the floor. Alpha Academy pose with Theory as we head to break. We're back live and Lashley is landing some right hands on Otis. Lashley whips him to the corner and runs, but Otis gets a boot up. Otis stands on Bobby until the count of 4. Meanwhile, Theory is taking selfies at ringside. Gable comes in, but Lashley starts beating him and Otis and sends the big man out of the ring. Gable capitalizes on a distraction from Theory and knocks Lashley off his feet. Gable goes to the top rope, but Lashley jumps up with him and wants a suplex, but Otis comes in and grabs the Almighty for a powerbomb. Gable hits a moonsault and Otis pins him for a near fall. Theory is getting frustrated at ringside. Lashley fights up and knocks Gable out of the ring, but Otis splashes Lashley from behind and in the corner. Otis goes to the middle rope for a Vader bomb, but Lashley gets him up on his shoulders for an electric chair drop. Gable then comes off the top rope and a crossbody, but Lashley catches him right into the hurt lock and taps out. Lashley wins. After the match, Theory comes in and attacks Lashley. Alpha Academy hold Lashley up so Theory could take a selfie, but Lashley kicks him away, then drops Otis and spears Gable. Lashley wants to spear Theory, but he bails from the ring. We see a replay of 3 weeks ago when Seth Rollins attacked Cody Rhodes on Raw, further injuring his already grotesquely injured pectoral. Rhodes will have an interview on Raw after the break. And I'm glad they're doing this. You got these fucking people that are sitting home. Clearly they could be walking around. If I was in charge of WWE, if you can walk and you can walk around, you get yourself on a plane. You come here, do some promo work, you do whatever. You do you talk, you have interviews and shit like that. I'm paying you $3-4 million a year. You best believe that you're going to be doing work like that. Fucking NBA has them dress and they sit on the sidelines, including the NFL. Not the MLB. I don't think so, but some of them do travel where they're injured if they're veterans. They help the team get the other players ready, and they watch, and it helps them because if they want to become a coach or a manager, they have some of the training to keep going. So we come back from break. Cody is shown in his gym. He says rehab is a lot of ups and downs, and he's a long way from where he was 3 weeks ago. He was flying high, maybe too close to the sun. He shows his surgery scar and says the doctors are telling him 9 months. Rhodes says he wishes he could participate in Money in the Bank with the rest. Rhodes says McIntyre and Sheamus are two men with Harley race level toughness. Amos is a giant that doesn't even need a ladder to reach the briefcase. Sami Zayn distracts people so much with his antics and subterfuge that they forget he's incredible in the ring. And then there's Seth Rollins. Imagine if he won the briefcase, then went on to win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Well, he would be the first person to congratulate him. Cody excuses himself to go train. John Cena is backstage when Seth Rollins appears, laughing along to Cena's music. Rollins asks if he remembers the time he broke Cena's nose. Cena nods and Rollins laughs. Cena says he looks good and he gave a great speech. They've had a lot of ups and downs, but they have had a lot in common. They are both international mega fashion icons and Money in the Bank winners. Rollins continues, and remember that Cena was the first person to ever fail cashing it in. Amos and MVP appear. MVP says he says he too is a visionary, and can see Amos holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, surrounded by broken ladders and broken bones. MVP says there's nothing Rollins or anyone else can do. Cena wishes Rollins good luck and walks off. We see a breakdown of Money in the Bank card, culminating with the women's qualifying match. We still don't know the final entrant in the match, but we are about to find out after the break. Money in the Bank last chance qualifying match for the women. Becky Lynch, Doudrop, Nikki Ash, Xia Li, Tamina, Shayna Baszler. The match gets underway and every single woman rushes Becky Lynch and beats her out of the ring. Tamina and Doudrop then clear the ring and are the last two left standing. They look to fight each other, but Nikki Ash attacks Tamina from behind. Tamina knocks Nikki back outside and trades headbutts with Doudrop. Tamina is sent to the apron and Doudrop knocks her off. Then Lynch gets on the apron and kicks Doudrop in the head. Becky goes on top and hits a molly-go-round for a near fall. Xia Li returns and knocks Becky into the corner, where she lands some strikes. Nikki returns and attacks Li, but gets knocked away. Becky hits Li with the manhandle slam and pins her. Xia Li has been eliminated. Nikki Ash attacks Becky as soon as Li rolls out. Doudrop and Baszler get back in, and Doudrop hits Shayna with a cannonball in the corner. Becky avoids a splash, but Tamina knocks her off the apron to the floor. Nikki then shoves Tamina into a missile dropkick from Becky. Nikki jumps at Becky with a crossbody, but Lynch rolls through and applies a disarmor, and Nikki taps, and Nikki Ash has been eliminated. We come back from a commercial break. Baszler and Lynch are brawling on the floor. Becky hits Baszler with an exploder suplex into the barricade. Tamina runs up and Becky tries to do the same to her, but Doudrop rushes all three of them with a splash against the barricade. Doudrop gets Baszler back in the ring, but Shayna hits a knee to the face for a near fall. Tamina goes on the top of the rope, but Baszler climbs up for a suplex. Then Lynch climbs up alongside Doudrop, power bombs them for a Tower of Doom. Baszler looks for a knee bar on Tamina, but Doudrop hits her with a crossbody for the pin. Shayna Baszler has been eliminated. Becky returns and tries to hit Doudrop with a manhandle slam, but can't lift her up. Tamina knocks Drop from the ring, then catches Becky with a Samoan drop. Tamina goes to the top rope and wants a snooker splash, but Becky rolls out of the ring. Doudrop grabs Lynch on the floor and hits a body slam, then a senton. Doudrop gets back inside and splashes Tamina in the corner, then hits a Vader bomb for a pinfall. Tamina has been eliminated. We're down to 2, and the fans are chanting for Becky. Doudrop drags her into the ring and beats her in the corner, and hits a body slam. Doudrop goes to the middle rope for a Vader bomb, but Lynch rolls out of the way. Lynch goes to the top rope, but Doudrop climbs up with her. They struggle for a minute until Lynch hits a Superman handle slam for the win, and she's going to Money in the Bank. After many weeks, Becky Lynch has booked her spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match this Sunday. She will be facing off against Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Raquel Gonzalez, Lacey Evans, and Shotzi. So we have that. We have those people. We're still waiting on the guys to see what they're going to do. So let's get rolling to NXT 2.0 and then AEW's Fallout show from Forbidden Door, and that is it for the night. That is it for the day. That's it for the weekend. Until I see you on Sunday. That means Saturday. Saturday. Tonight's episode of NXT is truly stacked. The next episode of NXT is Great American Bash special, and tonight we will see Braun Breaker and Cameron Grimes come face to face ahead of their showdown for NXT Championship. And it might be a championship face-off, but Nikita Lyons returns to NXT tonight, and that should make a lot of people happy. Over in England, Brooks and Jensen won the NXT UK Tag Team titles, and tonight they will address their big win. Meanwhile, Indy Hartwell will face Kiana James, Zaya Quinn faces Sanga, Giovanni Vinci versus Ika Manjaro, and Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez take on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, with the winners getting a shot against Toxic Attraction for the women's tag team titles. We go to the arena, and out comes the duo of Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They are facing newcomers Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, with winners earning a title shot against Toxic Attraction at the Great American Bash next week. Championship contenders match. This is a true contenders match because you're doing two other teams, and you don't have the champions eat a pin. So Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolan and JC Jade are watching from the Toxic Lounge. The match starts off with Jade and Carter locking up and exchanging holds. Carter hits 8-arm drag and chops Jade in the chest, then hits a springboard arm drag. Katana tags in and is thrown up by Kaden and lands with a seated senton on Jade. Chance leaps over Jade and poses, then kicks her for a 2 count. Cora hits a nice roll up for a 2 count, then connects with a European uppercut and a front drop kick. Perez tags in and Jade whips her into Katana in the corner. Perez hits an arm drag and grabs a shoulder lock. Katana fights up, but Perez tags Jade, who hits an arm wrench and grabs a front face lock. Perez tags in and keeps the pressure on Chance, but Katana locks an Irish whip and makes the tag. Carter kicks Perez from the apron, then delivers some elbows to the neck. Katana tags back in and hits a tope for a 2 count. Perez gets Katana up on her shoulders, spins her around, and drops her neck first onto the ropes. Jade tags in and drop kicks Katana. Then Perez and Carter come in, and we get four women's stalemate. Perez and Jade toss them both out of the ring, and then Roxanne wants to dive out, but Carter slides back in and cuts her off. Katana pulls Jade off the apron and shoves her into the steel steps, uh, and we go to break. We return to see Katana tag in a in a in a in and hit and double stomp to Perez after a backstabber from Carter. Kaden quickly tags back in and applies a single leg Boston Crab for a minute, then tags Katana as she applies the same hold. Perez spins her off and tags Cora, who comes in with a clothesline and a hurricanrana to Carter. Cora knocks Chance off the apron and hits a running knee to Kaden against the ropes for a near fall. Both women get knocked down and Jade makes a tag, but Katana is nowhere to be found. Perez runs in, but Carter super kicks her. Then Katana appears and gets in the ring, gets the tag, then looks for a net breaker for 50. Jade pulls Carter out of the ring, then hits Perez with a pop rock for the win. Jade and Perez pick up the win. Joe Gacy walks into Diamond Mine's training room. He tells the Creed brothers that Roderick Strong doesn't appreciate them, but he would welcome them wholly into the family. Strong appears and says, "Gacy, nobody wants his Kool-Aid." He says Diamond Mine is the strongest family in NXT, and they'll be happy to prove it. Strong hugs Brutus, Julius, and Ivy Nile, then stares after them and fist bumps Demon Kemp as though he was up to something. Come back from commercial break. Toxic Attraction is interviewed backstage. Kaden says she was very impressed by Perez and Jade tonight. Dolan says it doesn't matter. If the two of them are best friends, they've beaten up best friends before, and next week they'll be no different. Mandy says Roxanne needs to know better than to use her contract on her title. Then Nikita Lyons walks up. She says she's back and she's putting Mandy on notice. Rose says Lyon can roll all she wants, but when they step in the ring tonight, Lyons will realize who's the real queen of the jungle. Giovanni Vinci versus Ika Minjera. This was a blink situation. The match gets underway. Jiro does some cartwheels, but Vinci grabs a wrist lock. Jiro hits Vinci with his jacket a few times, but gets German suplexed. Vinci puts Jiro in the corner and chops his chest hard a few times. Jiro fights back with a kick and looks for a springboard moonsault, but Vinci rolls out of the way. Giovanna hits a springboard tornado DDT and a sit-out last ride for the win. Giovanna Ricci picks up the win. We see a clip of Brooks and Jensen winning the NXT UK Tag Team titles this past week. The duo, along with Fallon Henley, make their way to the ring. Come back from commercial. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are interviewed backstage. He says nobody can get over on him. Nobody can tell him what to do because every rule has an exception when you're an exceptional talent. Grayson Waller appears with a basketball and merchandise and asks for a signing for his friends back in Australia. Waller thanks him and Hayes says he's a trustworthy guy. Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen are in the ring along with Fallon Henley. Brooks Jensen introduces them as the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, and the fans chant, "You deserve it." Briggs says they love to fight, and they took it to the best the UK had to offer. Jensen says, "Remember when they met?" And Briggs told him that he had a lot of potential. He thanks him for picking him, and they hug. Briggs, says he's proud of him, but there's one thing left to do. Henley says, "Drink some beer." Pretty Deadly comes out and interrupts the party. Kit Wilson says they must be kidding. Elton Prince says those titles once meant something because they were around the waist of two tastiest snacks in NXT. Prince says the belts are now around the waist of Trailer Park Trash. They say they're all done is lower the bar and the prestige, and only they can raise them up again. Briggs tells them to shut up and says they know the prestige of the belts, and a lot of great teams have won them, but Pretty Deadly aren't one of them. He says they're happy to defend the belts in the UK and the US. So now, how about they get things underway right now? Jensen grabs Elton and Briggs attacks Wilson. Briggs hits an atomic drop to Wilson, and Henley slaps him across the face. Prince is sent to the apron. They knock him off, where he lands on Kit. We come back from commercial break. We're inside the women's locker room where Kaden Carter and Katana Chance are bemoaning their loss earlier. Indy Hartwell versus Kiana James. They lock up and Indy takes the back, but James grabs the ropes to sling her off. James takes the wrist, but Indy whips her away, then lands two arm drags. James is sent to the apron, but she kicks Hartwell back and drops her. James grabs a wrist lock and drives her elbows into Hartwell's back. Indy fights her away, but out of hands of a series of forearms. James rolls to the apron, but Indy lands a European uppercut, then boots her in the face for a 2 count. Kiana counters Indy and shoves her into the corner, but Indy jumps to the apron. Hartwell knocks her down and looks for a springboard elbow drop, but Kiana avoids it. James takes Indy down and pins her with her feet on the ropes for the win. Kiana James picks up the win. We see Tony D'Angelo on the bridge with Stacks and dump what is supposed to be Two Dime's body into the water. D'Angelo holds his leather jacket and says he trusted him, but he tried to steal his throne. He throws the gold watch he gave him into the river. Then Santos Escobar then calls Tony and taunts him. D'Angelo is furious. Go to commercial. We come back. Wesley says last week he was in the ring pouring his heart out and soul out when Trick Williams came out and mocked him. Trick thinks his emotion is his weakness, but actually his biggest strength. And at the Great American Bash, he's going to find his inner peace at the expense of Trick. Diamond Mine versus Joe Gacy and the Dyad. Gacy starts with Strong and they lock up and struggle for control. Strong grabs a sleeper, but Gacy backs him into the corner and tags one of the Druids. Strong beats the Druids back and tags Brutus, but the Druid shoves him against the ropes and delivers some forearms to the jaw. Brutus fires back with a gut-wrench suplex and hits a judo throw. Julius tags in and throws Brutus into the druid, and then to the knees, delivers knees to the ribs of him. Brutus tags back in, and they both hit knees to the gut a few times. Julius back in the and connects with another knee, so the druids roll out, and Gacy gives him a pep talk. The druid gets back. Sorry, my screen went to sleep. The druids get back in the ring and takes Julius down with a choke down and chokes him. Gacy tags in and shoulders Julius in the corner, then tags the other druid. Julius counters a body slam with a small package for a near fall, then gets dropped with a clothesline. Julius lifts the druid into a suplex position while sitting down, then gets to his feet, still holding him. Gacy and the other druid run in, but so do Strong and Brutus, and we see three suplexes. Gacy and the dyad get knocked out of the ring. Commercial break. We're back, and the druid distracts Brutus, allowing Gacy to hit a chop block. Gacy lands a DDT for a near fall, then taunts Strong and Julius. Gacy chops Brutus and tags a druid. Brutus fights out of the corner, but the two druids grab him and make him watch as Gacy hangs him upside down in the corner and shouts at him. Gacy takes Brutus down and keeps him isolated. Brutus continues to be held down with submissions and stomps by the two druids. Strong gets knocked off the apron, and Brutus fights off both the dyad and tags Julius. Creed is red hot with belly to belly suplex and a spinning gut wrench suplex to both druids. Julius hits a rolling fireman's carry and readies for the finish, but Roddy takes himself in. Strong and Julius shove each other until Gacy comes back in and tries to knock Roddy down, but Brutus gets in the way. Strong starts fighting with him as well. Meanwhile, one of the other druids come in, replaces the other while the referee isn't watching. Strong looks for the angle slam, but the druid wiggles free. Then the dyad hit a double team DDT for the win. Joe Gacy and the dyad win. After the match, the Creeds berate Roderick Strong for costing them the match. Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams are interviewed backstage. It is revealed that Grayson Waller tricked Hayes into signing a contract for a title match earlier tonight. They are going to face off in the North American Championship next week at the Great American Bash. Hayes is annoyed at himself for falling for it, but he's going to teach Hayes a lesson. Lash Legend interrupts a medical update for Alba Fire. She says she's going to put Fire on the shelf permanently. She found out that Legend doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk. She tells the rest of the division to stay out of her way. Sangha makes his entrance, but he's on the ramp. Zaya Quinn attacks him from behind. The two of them fight on the ramp until the referees separate them. Come back from a commercial. Diamond Mine is exploding backstage. Strong says Creed isn't listening to him. Julius says they listen to him every week and still lose. Strong says it's clear they aren't taking things on board, so it's time for he teaches them a lesson for real. Next week, him and Damon Kemp will face the Creed brothers for the NXT Tag Team titles at the Great American Bash. Zaya Quinn and Sangha. The match finally gets underway and Quinn bails out. Sangha is distracted with the referee, and Quinn rushes in to attack. Zion delivers some forearms and a boot to the gut. He attempts a shoulder tackle, but Sangha blocks it. Sangha sends Quinn out of the ring. Zion gets back in and chokes Sangha against the middle rope. Sangha gets angry and catches a kick, spin him around, and forearms him in the back. Sangha scoops Quinn up and hits in Snake Eyes in the corner. Sangha does it a second time, then delivers another forearm to the back. Sangha with a body slam, but Zion rolls away from an elbow drop. Quinn hits a shoulder tackle to the knee to kneeling Sangha. Quinn gets a sleeper hold and jumps on Sangha's back. Sangha runs him backwards into the buckles to get free, but Zion drop kicks him in the back. Sangha grabs modified chicken wing, and Quinn tries to get free, so he hits him in the back again. Sangha with a body slam then signals for the end. He grabs Quinn and choke slams him for the win. Sangha picks up the win. Take a sip. And that one went right up my nose. Okay. Any which way I can get it in. We see Wendy Chu in bed having a nightmare about Tiffany Stratton and the mean things she said. Chu then sees herself humiliating Stratton and feels better. She wakes up feeling well rested and walks to the bathroom to brush her teeth. She challenges Stratton to a match at the Great American Bash next week. Nikita Lyons versus Mandy Rose. They lock up, and Lyons flings Mandy across the ring a few times, but they don't break the lockup. Rose gets annoyed and takes the back of Lyons' power free and slings her across the ring again and kips up. Rose is angry and kicks her knee and beats Lyons into the corner. Lyons blocks some punches and shoves her away. Rose taunts her, but Nikita fires back with a kick that drops Mandy. Lyons shoulders Rose in the corner, then throws her across the ring. Nikita picks up and throws her two more times. Lyons laughs at Rose, rolls out of the ring to regroup with Gigi and JC as we head to break. Back from commercial, Rose is in control as we return, but Nikita hits a takedown and lands some mountain punches. Rose turns the tables and goes back to targeting the leg. During the break, Rose attacked the leg as Nikita was distracted by Dolan and Jade. They threw her into the steel steps. Rose batters the knee with punches, then taunts Lyon and shoves her face a few times. Lyons blocked a punch and gets up while staring daggers at Rose. Lyon knocks her back and lands a series of kicks to the chest, then a flying forearm in the corner. German suplex from Lyons, then she puts up Rose on the top rope. Lyons climbs up, but Mandy shoves her off and hits a missile dropkick. Lyons avoids the running knee from Mandy and lands a fury of kicks. Dolan and Jay run in and attack. Nikita Lyons wins by disqualification. Dolan and Jade stomp Lyons down and hold her up so Rose can slap her across the face. Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade run down and knock JC and Gigi out of the ring. Lyons tried to stop Mandy, but rolls and leaves with her title. Solo Sequoia is backstage with Apollo Crews, angry about losing last week. Crews tells him to keep his chin up, because he is incredible and he will be a champion. Zion Quinn walks up and tells Apollo he's the most perfect WWE superstar of his looks and his ability. Cruz says there's no doubt that people think Quinn has a bright future, but doesn't see it. Wade Barrett introduces Cameron Grimes, followed by the NXT champion Braun Breaker. Wade looks to moderate, but Breaker tells him they got things. They got things. Breaker says Grimes is different than all the others he faced. He knows they are going to leave it all in the ring because Grimes has nothing to lose. Cameron says that's not true. He has everything to lose. Grimes says he gets that, but he gets that for Braun. It's just another big title defense. But what happens if he loses the title? He's still Braun Breaker. He goes to Raw or SmackDown. Hell, he'd probably go to SummerSlam. Meanwhile, he lost the North American Championship and he decided to put all the chips on the NXT Championship. If he fails at this, he has no other option. Grimes says Breaker must know about last resort because this wasn't the first choice, was it? Breaker wanted to be a pro football player, but he failed and then called up his daddy to get him a shot in WWE. Breaker said he didn't expect that. He didn't expect that from Grimes. He didn't have to bring his daddy into this. Breaker says he isn't fooled by Grimes' cheap suit and fake smile. So next week he really is going to the moon, but when he gets there, he's going to get his ass speared. Grimes says he isn't like all the rest of the people Braun faced. He keeps getting back up. Braun says he hopes that's true because he wants to keep putting him down. Grimes says Breaker doesn't get it. He doesn't have the heart, but that's to be expected because his father didn't have any heart either. That's why he never won the big one. Breaker grabs Grimes by the throat and lifts him up. Grimes slides off and Breaker charges at him, but nobody's home and he hits the buckles hard. Grimes then runs Breaker shoulder first into the turnbuckle and the top buckle snaps off. Breaker is down holding his arm and the officials rush down and stop Grimes. Breaker says his shoulder is out and Grimes leaves the ring. So this is what's going to happen for next week. Do we see a title change? Because that means he's going to be able to go up to Monday or Friday. On to AEW, and then we are out of here. AEW, Blood and Guts. Tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts, was broadcast from the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. We started off with All Ego Ethan Page with the American Top Team Dan Lambert versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Dan Lambert ordered Ref Bryce to send the best friends to the back, and Bryce has no choice to follow the rules of the Athletic Commission. Ethan Page grabbed Orange and pulled to the mat. Orange jumped to his feet and drop kicked Page. Orange blocked a hip toss and grabbed All Ego with an arm drag. Orange jumped off the top rope with a diving cross-body press. Ethan Page shoulder blocked Orange Cassidy, sending him careening to the mat. Ethan hoisted up Cassidy with a vertical suplex and took him down. He got control over Orange Cassidy and he's taken his time, and Taz of Ethan Page. Page kicked Orange and followed up with a brainbuster for a near fall. Page tried for an ego's edge, but Orange slipped out. Orange capitalized with a Hurricane Rana. Lambert grabbed Orange's boot to distract him. Ethan Page squashed Cassidy with a power slam for a 2 count. Orange rallied back with a stun doll millionaire. Orange nailed Page with a DDT for a 2 count. Dan Lambert jumped onto the ring apron, trying to draw Orange attention away from the Ethan Page. Orange avoided the distraction and clocked Ethan Page with 2 orange punches and then a body slam to pin Ethan Page. What a win for Orange Cassidy, said Excalibur. Tony Schiavone was on the ramp to interview Christian Cage. It's been 2 weeks, Christian posts match attack on Jungle Boy. Christian Cage, now Tony, I have asked by the upper management to come out here and apologize for the insensitive remarks I made last week about Jungle Boy's family. I never apologized for anything. I've never done or said my entire career. That being said, Jungle Boy, I'm sorry your entire family isn't dead, and they had to witness you and me 2 weeks ago in that ring on Dynamite. The only two things this scumbag city has going for it is that you're close to Canada. Now you Motor City sweat hogs can be wondering why I'm standing out here in street clothes when I requested a match. I requested a match, but I never said it wasn't for me. Out walked Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is entering the ring to face Serpentico, while Christian Cage stood on the outside of the ring. Luchasaurus headbutted Serpentico. He went Serpentico for a ride with a wheelbarrow suplex. Luchasaurus tied up Serpentico's legs, locked him in a sand trap, and applied a nerve hold. Serpentico was forced to tap out. Christian Cage has found himself a very valuable ally, said Excalibur. After the match, Luchasaurus yanked Serpentico out of the ring. Luchasaurus chokeslammed Serpentico on the arena floor. Backstage, Tony Schiavone interviewed TNT champion Scorpio Sky and Wardlow. I want to tell you about Wardlow. Holy shit! Oh, yum. That's all. Moving on. Warlow, I'm done talking. I'm sick of this. Bringing every member of American Top Team. I'll treat every one of them like there are security guards, and then I'll beat your ass and take that title home. Sky, okay, since you're so tough, let's have a street fight next week with the title at stake. Trios tag team match. The Acclaim, Max Caster, Austin and Colton Gunn versus Danhausen and FTR. Yes, FTR tagged with Danhausen. From them being fucking heels to this. Now, this is, if you wanted to put FTR as face in WWE, this is what you do, okay? Austin and Cash locked up. Austin felt good as he got the upper hand on the opposition. Austin tripped up Cash Wheeler, being sent face first into the canvas. Wheeler grabbed Austin and hit him with an atomic drop. Dax tagged in and chopped away at Austin's chest. He followed up with a suplex to Austin for a near fall. Danhausen tagged in and dropped an elbow across Austin's spine. Danhausen sent Colton halfway across the ring with a Hurricane Rana. Colton retaliated with a stiff shot to Danhausen's head and practically knocked the face paint right off of Danhausen. Colton drop kicked Danhausen. Dax Harwood tagged in and dropped Austin and Caster with hard shots. FTR suplexed the Gun Club. Dax kept on Austin with multiple German suplexes. Austin was looking for the quick draw, but Dax blocked it and tagged in Danhausen. Pump kicked Austin and attempted the GTS, but Bowens jumped into the ring with his crutch and inadvertently clocked Austin in the face with it. Danhausen pinned Austin after the shot. The Gun Club is not happy with the Acclaim right now, said Excalibur. Billy Gunn wants an explanation from Bowens, said Tats. Austin Gunn finally got up and shoved Bowens. Billy Gunn shoved Austin to the mat, trying to calm things down. He's either trying to make peace or he's sliding with the Acclaim, said Tony Schiavone. Sanjay Dutt was backstage with Jay Lethal and Saddam Singh. Lethal demanded Samoa Joe defend his Ring of Honor TV championship against Lethal at Death Before Dishonor next month. And it's the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's the week prior to SummerSlam. TBS Championship Challenge Open. Jade Cargill versus Layla Gray. Jade walloped Layla with knee strikes. Jade caught Gray and countered with a fallaway slam. Gray charged into the corner with a step-up knee strike, but Jade countered a running bulldog with a pump kick. Cargill smashed Gray with a jaded and pinned her 1-2-3. Jade is 34-0. Jade, I'm tired of all you fans and all these women in the back bitching and moaning. Next time, Stokely, give me some real competition. Stokely, she's fired up, and I know why. Last night, this queen gave an opportunity to every single woman in the locker room. Gray doesn't even work here, and she had a wherewithal to seize the moment. Athena and Statlander, you're just lazy. Athena and a Statlander ran to the ring. Athena was about to jump off the top rope, but Stokely whispered something in Gray's ear. Gray shoved Athena off the rope, and then Jade, Kira, and Layla got the upper hand. The AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, were backstage. Matt said the Forbidden Door is still might be open just a little bit, and said Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi can face them on Friday at Rampage. Now, the Blood and Guts was the entire last hour, the second hour, which I'm glad. I wish it was commercial free. I couldn't stand the fucking commercial. The Jericho Appreciation Society. We have Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, and the Wizard Chris Jericho. The Blackpool Combat Club consisted of John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and I'm Italian. I should get my Italian card revoked. And Wheeler Yuta, accompanied by William Regal and Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. The Jericho Appreciation Society scored a man advantage at Forbidden Door this past Sunday on pay-per-view. William Regal joined the broadcast booth for this match. Sammy began for the Jericho Appreciation Society, while Claudio started the match for the Blackpool Combat Club. If I was Sammy, I'd be running for the hills right now, said Regal. Claudio rammed Sammy into the turnbuckles and followed up with European uppercuts. Sammy tried to chop Claudio's chest, but Claudio shrugged off and blasted Sammy with more European uppercuts. Sammy began to scale the cage, and Claudio met him up there and yanked Sammy down onto the ring ropes. Sammy springboarded off the ropes to create a distance from Claudio. Sammy gave Claudio the middle finger. Claudio was looking for an elevator uppercut, but Sammy countered with a cutter. Daniel Garcia was the next man to enter and began to stomp a mud hole into Claudio. Sammy attacked from the other side, but Claudio wouldn't be shut down. Finally, Sammy connected with a kick that rang Claudio's bells. Sammy and Daniel double superplexed Claudio. Wheeler Yuta was the next. He got control of Garcia with a series of German suplexes. Yuta turns his attention to Sammy and dumped Sammy with German suplexes. Claudia flung Garcia across the ring. Jake Hager the Jericho entered for the Jericho Appreciation Society. Hager caught Wheeler off the top turnbuckle and slammed him. Hager and Claudio had a stare down. Remember, we the people with oh god, Zeb Coulter. I don't remember his name in WWE, but I only remember his real name. Sorry. The Clash of the Titans, says Regal. The match doesn't officially begin until all 12 men enter the ring, said Excalibur. Hager dropped hammer fists on Claudio until Moxley entered and chucked a chair at Hager. Moxley turned Garcia inside out with a suplex. Moxley followed up with a crossface on Garcia. Moxley raked Garcia's face across the steel cage. Moxley jabbed a fork into Garcia's forehead. Claudio lifted up Sammy and then dropped him into Moxley's cutter. Then Wheeler splashed Sammy from the top turnbuckle. Angela Parker came into the ring next and tried to flee from the Blackpool Combat Club. Claudio grabbed him and sent him for a ride with a gut wrench suplex. Moxley was waiting right there for an uppercut on Parker. Yuta and Claudio blasted Angelo and with uppercuts. All of the Jericho Appreciation Society just about is down. Hager nailed Claudio's ankle with a steel chair. Garcia blasted Yuta with a shotgun dropkick. Ortiz entered the fray. He dishes out clotheslines to the Jericho Appreciation Society. Moxley spilled a bag of broken glass and spiked Angelo with a pile driver. Max Menard entered the ring with a steel chair, waffling John Moxley with it. Menard drilled Moxley, opening up Moxley's wound from the forbidden door. Santana brought a barbed wire and a table into the ring. Santana fired off chops on Menard. Moxley had a pocket full of skewers and spiked Menard in the forehead with them. Chris Jericho had the baseball bat and entered the ring, but Ortiz ducked and DDT'd the Wizard. Months of frustration from Ortiz directed at Jericho, said Excalibur. Claudio turned around and ate a code breaker from Chris Jericho. Eddie came in with a kendo stick and began to cracking members of the Jericho Appreciation Society with it. And the match officially began with Kingston in the ring. The fans began to chant, "This is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome." Tay Conti passed Jericho a bottle of rubbing alcohol through the cage. Yuta and Moxley took down Garcia with the Doomsday Device. Kingston and Ortiz powerbombed Hager through the table. Moxley and Yuta had black bags and opened them up, pouring out thumbtacks. Ortiz and Claudio tore up the canvas to expose the wooden boards. Jericho put the walls of Jericho on Moxley. "This is sadistic," said Ross. Eddie grabbed a handful of tacks and smeared Jericho in the face with them. Tay Conti took out the ref and stole the keys from him to open the cage door. Ruby Soho sprinted to the ring and ground and pound Tay. They brawled to the back. Jericho climbed to the top of the cage structure to get away from Eddie Kingston. I'm not sure Jericho knows that Eddie is in hot pursuit behind him, said Taz. Kingston walloped Jericho with spinning back fist. Sammy climbed to the roof of the cage and tackled Kingston. This feels like the calm before the storm. I think some of our audience feels the same way, said Taz. Kingston hits a low blow on Sammy. Kingston shoved Sammy off the top of the cage, and Sammy came crashing down through the timekeeper table. Jericho and Kingston duked it out on the top of the cage. Jericho applied the walls of Jericho on Kingston. Claudio climbed up to the top of the cage and smashed Jericho with a running boot. Claudio hurled Jericho around with the giant swing on top of the cage. Matt Menard clubbed Claudio from behind, saving Jericho. Claudio placed Matt in the Scorpion Deathlock, which is the sharpshooter, forced Daddy Magic Menard to tap out. Kingston was frustrated because he was trying to make Jericho tap at the same time. Claudio got the tap on Jericho first. So on TBS next week, they're going to be in the Cross Arena at the War Memorial in Rochester, New York. Brody Lee is from there. And we are off to the races on Rampage. Now, as I told you guys, you lovely, lovely fans of mine, this is actually now Thursday morning. This is going to be up or ready to go, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to be recording everything for the preview and predictions on Friday night after SmackDown goes off the air. So come and join me. And look at the video when it goes up at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And if Money in the Bank finishes up by 11 o'clock, I will be able to go live right then and there. So fingers crossed. So I want everybody to have a great Friday, have a great weekend, enjoy Money in the Bank for what it is. I will be back here for episode 246 on next Friday at 2 p.m., which I will be live. I will be able to go live because I don't have anything to do. Yes. And remember, I will be here at 2 p.m., not live, but it'll be a video going up for preview and predictions of Money in the Bank. So please go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com, Harry's Razors at harrys.com, Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com, Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com, and go check out their two new flavors, the espresso and the blueberry vanilla. Also, please go check out Outbreak Wrestling on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net and get your tickets for High Intensity. And please go follow me on my social media, which is Mel'S Mat Chat on Twitter and Instagram. Go follow me and go friend me on Facebook. And go check me out on Snapchat and TikTok. And that is it. I want everybody to have a great Friday. Check on all your family. Speaking of family, I got some good news. My cousins, my cousin Billy and his wife are welcoming a new Klein male. Yes, we need more Klein males to continue this bloodline here. No pun intended. Thankfully, my son has my name, my last name, and he doesn't have his father's. But he won't be carrying on the Klein name. Hopefully my brother reconsiders having children, because that would be great. I would love to have a niece or a nephew from my wonderful baby brother. Um, and my baby cousin Kayla, she just announced that both cousins are going to be parents at the same fucking time. Holy shit! I swear to Christ, I couldn't go through my pregnancy without a buddy of mine, which was my cousin Nicole. Her son is a month younger than my son, so it is what it is. But enjoy yourself. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my family and new ones coming along. I'm happy about this. Finally, an upswing to my life. Instead of no more bad news. Okay. Have a good Friday. I love you all. See you 2 p.m. on Saturday. Okay. Love you all. Good night.